And I don't mind getting anybody that wants a resource guide, a copy of this, or give you the link.
They're beautiful materials, all of them, by the way.
Or if you want to get the QR code and share it through the newsletter,
I love it.
it's super simple. I can share the link with you later. It also has our student calendar in here.
Great.
It actually has the points of pride in there. So, and then it shares with you all the phenomenal programs that we have, that we offer through our 37 elementary schools, and we have Leadership in Me. Well, we start entrepreneurship at a young age, and it's amazing. We have our, like, for example,
I had some kids in school like that. I'd have to have the kids first.
Really neat. But the fact that, like, for Goldsboro Elementary School, they're one of our magnet schools, and they have the real world experiences, and we partner with NASA, and it is so cool. And we have a kids space center, and anytime anybody wants to see any of these wonderful opportunities, we have recently in the past few years, it was something that after doing leadership seminal for me, it was something that we were talking about in our open board discussion. I'm like, we need to start a program within our own schools, an ambassador program. Let everybody see all the wonderful things that we have through our
schools. So they can actually come tour it or set up a way to come see it. And that would be a cool thing to do too, by the way, with people that maybe your connections. Yeah.
And so we have a program now, and they visit different parts of our school system.
Love that.
And they may take a trip to our Red Apple Dining, which is our food service. Now, cafeteria, we don't call it cafeterias anymore, just so you know. It's now called Red Apple Dining because they're restaurants, and you basically want to stay on campus. All the food is completely fresh. And
that's cool.
Yes, and it's like a food court.
Yeah.
You have high tops. And we can always add some beautiful images into this. We have filtered coffee. We have Oriental, Asian food. We have Italian food. It looks just like a food court, but it's inside the.
Well, I knew there was a reason everybody talks so well, highly about Seminole County schools. Now I know why. I'm getting the insights.
And we're trying to keep the food prices down, which is really important.
That's hard,
but no growth hormones into the food, all fresh meat. But there's something for everybody, even sit down booths that they can eat in, to a network area where they can just work on they can eat while they're hooked up to Wi-Fi and on their laptop. So there's a little section in there as well. So every time we add a new Red Apple Dining or update it, we are adding some extra features to different ones because we're seeing some other things that the kids want. So listening to the students is extremely important. And that is a critical piece, and making sure that we hear their voices, but hear the teachers' voices. And honestly, and everybody that speaks to me, and many teachers that reach out to me or administrators, they know that I'll keep things confidential and I won't say where it came from. But in any aspect, you want to know what their concerns are, what their stress level is. And honestly, sadly, people don't want to go into education these days because of the stress that's in they have in many hats, or the fact that we're number 50 in the nation right now in salaries. That means the state of Florida is number 50 in the most, it pays their teachers the least amount of money out of all states, but we're number 1 now in the most expensive places to live.
So there's
and so I'm working on something throughout the whole entire state, a bipartisan bill where we can help that. And that would, since we're the capital of tourism, if we add an extra penny to alcohol, tobacco, and I want to add vaping products because I'm the one that initiated the vaping lawsuit throughout the United States, the class action lawsuit. And we won over $2.4 million just our county alone to educate our youth about vaping and the dangers of it. We can take that extra penny and
increase all those.
And we would go from number 50 in the nation to the top 8 in the nation on salaries. Now, this is something that's statewide. So I have legislators throughout the state that are helping me draft up this bill. And this bill then would go into committee, into Tallahassee. It's bipartisan, so we have Democrats, Republicans, and MPAs all working on it together.
This is a big project she's talking about. It's awesome, but it's big. But
it's huge.
It takes a big,
exactly. But it's a win-win for everyone. So since we have so many tourists that come here too, an extra penny on those products is nothing. But to bring our salaries anybody that's in education, not just teachers, but a bus driver, a paraprofessional, a teacher's aide, custodian,
Yeah.
you name it, secretary, anybody in education would receive
Yeah.
a massive raise on top of anybody that's a first responder, police officers, firefighters.
Okay.
uh,
So think of that when
nurses.
that comes down the line, because I'm sure it'll be voted on at some point with
Yes.
that tax. So we could
Fingers
talk
crossed.
for all day about this. We'll stop. Here's what I would like to say, though. Any information that we've just, touched on, right? Super high level just here today. And you want to get more information, we'll make sure that we put a way to contact Abby. She's very open, and you can send her an email, I'm sure, with your thoughts or questions
call.
or ideas, or call. But I want to say personally, as someone who's sitting here with Abby and has had the pleasure of knowing her, and hopefully you can even tell just even on a video that she's uber passionate about her role. She does this because she wants to make a difference, right? And I don't think there's anybody that could be better in this position that was a teacher for so many years, and that had raised 3 children, and I mean, with all the qualities that she has as a strong leader, and all the relationships that she's built. I think I just don't think you can have
appreciate
anybody
that.
better in that
Thank
role.
you.
So I think it's
Yeah.
really important that that we all get out there and vote, and make
Yes.
sure you vote. for Abby.
And the fact that I've served on so many
Yeah.
committees and charitable organizations throughout this county and continue to. Seminole Cultural Arts Council, I serve on the Zoo Board of Trustees for Central Florida Zoo. I serve on the Wayne Dent, the Ritz Theater Education Board. I can go on and on. The Central Florida School Board Coalition Chair. There are numerous committees that, and I show up. I don't just say I'm
Yeah.
gonna do something, and if Unity Youth Association or anybody in any vibrant families, they need donation items, I get them for them, and I do whatever I can to help. People say this is not a full-time job, but for me
Oh my
it is.
gosh, very
And
good. Yeah.
I spend 3 times more than I make, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of people don't realize. They think that we make a lot of money. Well, I make less than a beginning teacher.
Yeah.
And I spend probably 3 times more than I make. This is a full-time commitment, and this requires full-time.
Yeah.
And I know that my opponent said she wasn't gonna be able to do that. And she's super wonderful lady, but it's something that needs
It
a
just takes the
full
time. Yeah,
time to be
yeah,
there. And
that's
I also have on the back of my palm cards, we'll share that too with you, or the rack cards, or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call them. My website,
Okay.
it's Abby Sanchez with the number 4kids.com.
Love it.
It's super easy
Easy
to
to
remember.
remember, yeah.
Exactly. My website is Vote Abby Sanchez, super simple.
Perfect.
And I have I have ads in everywhere. You'll see, some of you may have seen some of my billboards up, the digital
great.
one at IOA.
Oh, great.
That one's been up since, gosh, I believe June.
Wow.
And it's still there,
Wow,
but
good.
reach out to me, my cell number 407-497-0226, and I can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you.
Abby,
No, thank you for giving
and
me the
everyone.
time, as busy as you are. So we're excited that we were able to get together and have this little chat. So
Thank you
yeah,
so
make
much.
sure you guys see the sign, see the name, and make sure you get out and vote in November. All right. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Hang on.
Can I
Bye.
add
Bye.
one little quick video on.
Yeah, we
for
can do all
you
of
can do, we'll do a for